Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's 4:44 a.m. again, just like yesterday. I recorded that for today's video, and this is for tomorrow, the 16th of December 2013. And I'm being quiet because it is very early in the morning, and I believe I'm the only one up, although I just a moment ago heard a door, maybe someone going to the bathroom down the hall, which is only so many feet away from my door, but I did hear a door close, so maybe somebody got up. And I'm trying to be quiet for obvious reasons. You're not going to get any highly emotional videos out of me when I'm in the situation that I'm in right now because of wanting to be still for other people. Anyway, the title for today's video is A Human Face on the Struggle for Freedom. My impatience and frustration is obvious to those who view my recent videos and Facebook wall. For nearly 3 years now, I have produced a video every day. In keeping my promise and my commitment, you have been able to see me when I am feeling positive and not so positive. I have not hidden the truth of my feelings, choosing to be as authentic and genuine as I can be. As I've said many, many times, I want to do my part in manifesting what I call the kingdom of heaven on earth, helping to co-create a world that works for everyone and leaves no one behind. Despite this effort, the struggle for freedom from corruption and deception is far from over. Somehow, the criminals have been able to withstand lights coming on more and more. How much longer they will be able to hold on remains to be seen. Meanwhile, I will continue to put a human face on this effort to bring our vision of world peace into reality for everyone. Indeed, the last few days have been days of overwhelming sadness, frustration, feeling as if I've failed. And I appreciate all the comments on Facebook telling me that I didn't fail. But truthfully, when I began doing these videos, actually about 3 years ago this month, was when I had the vision that there would be massive visible changes, and I thought that would happen in 2011, and this is 2013. It was 2010 that I had that vision and that I wrote the article that seemed to take on a life of its own and was spread around the world. And my webpage, metagroups.info, got more hits in January 2011 in that month than I think any month ever up to the present, although I don't even bother looking at statistics anymore. It is what it is, and I don't even look most of the time. The only thing that I keep tabs on is my Facebook 5,000 friend limit. Every time that drops below 5,000, I go up to my list and add some more, one or two, depending on how many have dropped off. And if I go a day without doing that, I'll get a handful of people at least that with new friend requests to make the list grow again. And I'm trying to shrink it down to manageable proportions, so I try not to let it sit too long. But mostly I don't pay attention to the statistics because it really doesn't matter. What really matters is making a difference. And I guess my commitment does make a difference for people. And I'm grateful that I've been able to help people. And I would like to be able to help the elite, the establishment, the psychopaths come to their senses if there was any way that I knew how to do it. If I knew how to get them to stop blocking. And this is what's going on. This is what's going on with the prosperity funds. It's what's happening with all of the wonderful programs that people have developed to make the world a better place for people, to bring technologies that have been suppressed into useful development so that people can benefit from them. But it's blocked by these crazy people that continue to commit crimes against humanity every day. Every day. They do whatever they can to block the progress. And we often hear that this is a free will zone. Well, why is it that some people have free will to do evil and people that want to do good don't have free will because the evil people are allowed to block the people that want to do good? I don't get that. I don't get that. And people say of the ETs or angelic realm or heaven, that heaven is not allowed to interfere on earth because it's a free will zone. Well, what about when you've got people on earth that are interfering with everyone else's free will, and there's a whole lot of people that are crying out for justice, crying out for peace, crying out for cooperation and compassion and a better world? Why is it that they cannot be honored, and yet the people that want to do evil and keep the old game and the old paradigm going as long as they can, why is it that they're able to do it? I listened to Peter Van Runt in a conversation yesterday, not him and I personally, but in a meeting that I attended, and he said it comes down to enforcement. They are able to do what they're able to do because they have enforcement. And we, the people of the light, don't have a way to enforce what we want and to bring justice to those that stand in the way, that blockade. Literally, they blockade the good from coming to people. It's not that there's not enough money to go around. There's no shortage. There's no such thing as a bankrupt city or county or state in the United States or anywhere else. There's no such thing. Certainly not in the United States, where they have CAFR funds, where they have funds that they hide from the public because they make money off the manipulation of the stock market. They're the biggest investors of all, and they make all this money, and they have all this money on paper so that they would never even have to charge taxes. And so many people don't know the truth because the mainstream media, again, blocks the truth from coming out. They divert attention from things to things that don't really matter, that don't make a difference, and they distort everything that's true. They try to put a bad slant on people that are whistleblowers and stuff like that, like they're sacrificing national security or some other ridiculous thing. The only thing national security is about, it's about protecting the criminals from having to pay for their crimes. That's the national security. That's what they don't want. That's what national security is all about. If you had an honest government, there'd be no need for national security. If you had people that truly were committed to doing the best for the most and not just playing a game of keeping the rich people rich and able to steal from everybody else, if it wasn't for the criminality of the game and the corruption in the system, you wouldn't need national security. National security only exists because of the duplicity of our politicians and our elite corporate leaders, and the fact that the institutions that were initially created to serve man have become the master of man, so that we all live on a plantation and we're all slaves, and yet most of the people buy into the thing that because they can vote for a Democrat or a Republican or a liberal or a conservative or some other party in whatever country you live in, because we have the vote, that we have freedom. That's not freedom. When they own both of the mainstream candidates, and anytime an alternative candidate comes aboard, they don't even give them proper airtime. They slant everything. Look what they did to Ron Paul. Look what they did to Dennis Kucinich. Look what they did to Cynthia McKinney and to some of the people that were honest enough within the United States government to actually stand up and tell the truth most of the time. Look at how they were lambasted, and you know that they would be weak on defense and stuff like that. We don't need defending our country at all if the criminals would stop interfering with everybody. The criminality does not come from petty criminals. They don't have the resources. The real criminality is people that are very, very wealthy, wear suits and ties, and are part of the establishment. That's where the real criminality is. And until we address that real criminality, we're not going to have a world where freedom can exist, because they don't want people to be free. They want to maintain a totalitarian control system over the human race. They want to control all of the resources, including what they call human resources. But we're not resources. We are the value. We are the workers, the creators. We are the ones that give value to everything else because of our ability to create, because of our ability to manufacture. We have tremendous gifts, and those gifts are our value. And that value is being robbed from us every single day of our lives. And then we have this mind control stuff, much of it the new spirituality, the new age spirituality of don't rock the boat, don't interfere, there is no evil, everything's an illusion, so don't worry about it, it's only an illusion. You've got to fight your ego and keep your ego in check. You mustn't want something, you mustn't have any desires. All this Eastern mysticism that has invaded the West, there's a lot of good stuff in it, but there's a lot of deceptive stuff in it as well. Just like in Western religions and Christianity and Judaism and Islam, the Western religions, but none of them are they're worldwide religions, especially Christianity and Islam. They're the two worldwide religions, along with Buddhism and Hinduism to a lesser extent, I think. But in any case, they all have their issues where they demean human beings, where they put us in a certain place of subservience to authority, when we are the authority. All legitimate power, all legitimate political power and economic power is derived from the people. All value is derived from the people. You need to understand that we've been lied to, that everything in the current paradigm, in the current system, the old world order, everything in that world order is basically a deception. It's a lie. It's not the truth. Everything has been turned inside out and upside down. And yes, it frustrates me when I see the promises almost ready to be fulfilled, and then it stalls. And I know it stalls because these criminals somehow are able to stop it. Well, who's going to stop the criminals? Who's going to stop these people that get in the way? They want to create something where they're not going to have to pay for their crimes. Well, if they would honestly repent and do the right thing and tell the truth, they could be forgiven. But they don't even want to do that. They want to save face even. Like it's them that's producing the good changes. It's not them. They're the ones that are trying to keep the good from happening. And that's the reality that's going on in our world behind the closed doors. The things you don't hear about in the news, not even the alternative media. It's mostly hushed up. But this is what's going on. This is what's happening in our world. You've got a relative handful of people that are standing in the way of the progress for all humanity. They're standing in the way of releasing free energy technology, of releasing healing technologies that actually heal people from diseases, not just treat symptoms, but actually heal people without side effects. Energy healing and other types of healing. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's laying right at our threshold that can't quite make it over that threshold because you've got a handful of people that are standing in the way and blocking it. And so when I voted for the event, I don't know what the event even is. or if it's one event or a series of events in rapid succession that turn the tide and reverse the flow of energy from corruption to cooperation, to truth, to compassion, to creating literally a world that can work for everyone, where even the criminals can be rehabilitated and restored as full functioning human beings. But folks, until these people are taken out, whatever that means, I would not want it to mean killing them. They can be taken out by being incarcerated. But who's going to enforce it? Who's going to do the arresting of these people and arrest this propensity to save our own face and to save our ass that these people are involved in? Because they know they've done wrong. They know their handwriting is on the wall. They're not going to be able to sustain the criminality forever. They're not going to be able to do it. There is divine justice. But the frustration for me and for many of us comes in that sometimes we're so close. We're so close. And then it seems to stall. And that's where we're at. That's where we're at the end of 2013. Will anything yet happen this year? It's half over. The month is half over. We've got a half a month to go. Another 15 days. 15, 16 days to go, and this year is out. Will something happen that will turn the tide during that time? There's a lot of good things ready to be launched. But there needs to be justice applied. There needs to be enforcement of truth over error, over lies, over deception, and over corruption. These corruptors need to be brought to justice by whatever means possible. Thank you for listening. I love you.